Okay, so I'm Pete Holton here from Sail LT. I'm here with the superstar of windsurfing, Scotty O'Connor, who's very generously agreed to chat to chat to us at Sail LT. So, good morning, Scotty.
Morning, Peter, and superstar. I think that's a little bit pulling a long string, but anyway, you've asked me a few questions, so I'll start off with my career. Basically, started off sailing dinghies like most of the gang. I was lucky enough to come up with a lot of good windsurfers like Bobby Wilmot, Greg Hyde, Tom Ledecky, Stuart Gilbert. We had Mark Long, Grant Long. We had a great racing career with the boys.
And that was based around Sydney, Scotty.
That was like all doing Manly Juniors, flying ants, flying 11s, cherubs. So we all grew up in that sort of era. I left school and was a sailmaker for Hugh Trahan, who was Blue Peter Sales, tactician on Australia too when they won the America's Cup. So
Whoa.
he was a pretty cool bloke. Yeah. Then around about 96, 97, there was a container of windsurfers brought into the country. And somehow my father got one of the first 40 and thought it'd be a good crossover sport between rugby and sailing. Hence, I never knew that it would take off in my life, and my whole life has been revolved around windsurfing. So, yeah, so we did all the windsurfing racing. And around about 1980, maybe 79, Mark Paul and Mike Maguire were really instrumental in starting to chop off the backs of the boards of the windsurfers. We call them the choppers. And then started to make some proper wave boards. And then went to Hawaii. And that's when Mark and Mike and myself, which I was a young fella then, I was just hanging off their shirt tails. Yeah. First year we did the Pan Am Cup. My parents took me there. Met Robbie National, the gang. About 77. So we did the Hawaii thing, and we're just right time at right place, and was so lucky to be in that whole era of, dropped from 12-foot boards down to 6'8" boards, I think we went to at one stage, which was a lot of fun. Windsurfing was just booming in the early 80s to the mid 80s, and we were very lucky.
Uh-huh.
So then found it was a lot more fun to live in Hawaii. Did a lot of sail design with a few of the gang, bar Castra, and then we went to North, and also a lot of board design with Terry Fitzgerald. So that gave me an income with our other sponsors like Rip Cold, Neil Pride, or whoever else with. That was a good time. A lot of the Aussies came over, like my best mate, Rowie Cudmore. We did a lot of sailing together. Dougal Knox had come over. Everyone had to test themselves in Hawaii. So, and I think the Australians, we did okay. Some kid called Jason Polikow and Hedgie made it to the final of the Who Keeper. I must say I nearly cried that day because two Aussies I got beaten by Robbie Nash and Mike Waltz, all these nobodies. And to see two Aussies in the final of Who Keeper, man, that was the coolest day ever.
Fantastic. Oh, so they were really like the glory days of windsurfing, Scotty. Okay, so then obviously that couldn't last forever. So what was the next stage of your life, Scotty?
Yeah, I did something really different than most people. I didn't go back and get a job. I bought a little island in Fiji.
You bought an island?
Well, I bought a 99-year lease, So with some friends. Yeah, Mike Waltz is one of them, a sailing buddy. So that was sort of a bit out.
And what attracted you to Fiji at that point then, Scotty?
I guess I've been going to Hawaii and living there for 10 years on and off through the years. And then we went to Fiji for, I think, Tracks Magazine, and we did a thing for Fiji Surf Travel, Fiji Surf, and we surfed and we windsurfed and went, man, we actually fly straight over the top of Fiji to go to Hawaii, and there's no one in Fiji, and it's pretty bloody good, cloud break and restaurants and the multi lefts and the windsurfing. So I decided not to go back to Hawaii, and all my Hawaiian friends being Dave Kalama, Pete Cabrina, Robbie, Laird, Mark Angel, all the boys. Where are you, Scotty? So I'm in Fiji. So the boys started coming down, and that started about a 5-year 5 years every July we'd meet at Plantation and then go and windsurf out at Cloudbreak and the Mochi Labs. And then Waltz and I were dumb enough to buy it. So, and yeah, so that started our whole thing. And yeah, the Hawaiians were very part of that in the beginning, and still are. So yeah, that was a good little thing. And yeah, it's probably not what everyone does, but I don't usually do what everyone else does.
So Scotty, that was literally just a deserted desert island, was it, when you actually took the lease on?
Yeah, there was 2 coconut trees, and one was snapped in half from the last cyclone. So yeah, it was a barren little place, and I asked everyone to. They don't remember this, but I asked all my friends would they like to come in and be a shareholder or whatever, and everyone, including my parents, said, "You're a bloody idiot. Who's going to buy a sand island in Fiji?" But actually, yeah. So that was sort of how that went down. Now all my friends say, "Why didn't you tell me?" Well, they did, but Waltz was the only smart one that got involved.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you built a resort on the island?
yeah, we built a resort, and it turned out to be one of the most famous water sports resorts in the world, I think, at the moment, the Motu Island. So very proud of what we achieved with that.
Fantastic.
But sold my shares out of that and moved on and got
yeah.
Yeah,
it sounds fantastic. So how much of your time is over there now, Scotty?
I've been about 4 or 5 months a year. Last year,
wow.
I was putting the boat back together last year, putting new engines in it. So that was a lot of time. But now, I just want to go back for the fishing comps and when there's good surf, good swell.
Now, something that's coming up that you've got organised over in Fiji is the Oceanic Regatta. I think that's all right.
Oceanic Cup, and we're trying to do it again this year. We're just going to do it out of Wunda Marina.
Yeah. So just give me the dates of that event.
Oh yeah. So the dates are the 7th to the 10th of June.
Yeah.
And it's at Wunda Marina.
Yeah.
There's accommodation there if you want to ring early and book. Just some, and there's also a few other resorts. But what we're going to do, it's we're down around marinas. You've got the Hilton, the Sheraton, the Radisson, Wyndham. There's all the 5-star resorts and the golf courses. There's also some cheaper accommodation, Nandi. What we'll be doing is going out of Denarau Marina every day using my boat or one of my friends' boats, running us across to Wunda, which is only about a 10-minute boat ride instead of a 45, 50-minute car ride. And 4 days of racing, slalom, marathon, bit of fun, and then I think it finishes on the Tuesday, and then you come for the week and come hang out. We go fishing or go island hopping Scotty style.
Fantastic! Oh, sounds glorious. There are going to be some charter boards available, Scotty.
I hear there's 25 charter boards available.
Fantastic. So if people do just want to come for a fantastic windsurfing holiday in a glorious location.
Just get a taste of Fiji, mate. It's good. But, if any more information, you can give them my email address or whatever, and I'll help them out as much as possible. Come over and have some fun.
Yeah, well, sounds fantastic, and that good on you for getting that organised with your group over there, Scotty. Just at that time of the year, any indication of the sort of wind speeds that can be expected?
So it's usually around 10 to 18 knots in the afternoon.
Oh, beautiful. And then with the marathon, is that what's the plan with the marathon? Because in those beautiful tropical waters, Scotty, that would be a really an epic.
Well, I could lie to you and tell you that I know exactly what we're going to do, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'd say from Wunda we'd probably race out to one of the closest islands. Again depending on the wind, which island we go to.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. So we know a bit more about you now, Scotty, for people who didn't. Very modest in your summary of your career there. You're actually been inducted into the Windsurfer Hall of Fame. You're actually in the Windsurfer Class Hall of Fame. So obviously over the years you've had a major contribution to windsurfing, which I think...
I've been very lucky, very lucky.
Yeah. And I met you for the first time in Mondello at the first Windsurfer Worlds that I did, and since then you've been to Perth, and then met you again in Spain. So you've still been pretty active on the in the windsurfer class. So just a quick quick wrap for the windsurfer class. What is it you like about the redesigned windsurfer?
Man, can I say it saved me coming back from Fiji and having not much to do. and hanging out with Dolly and Paulie and Rowie and all my good mates again, Stewie. Just have that camaraderie again of what we had back in the 70s. One design boards, rig them up, don't unrig them. As you say, 50% fun, 50% racing. On a Wednesday, I'll go out with 8 to 10 people. Sarah, Kenny, Mark, Paul, all the people I said before. I mean, 10 people have a couple of pronies. That's why they're called the Prony Club.
Yeah.
Team Prony. And, mate, everyone's either an ex-world or current world or national champion. And, mate, we're all mates, but there's no love lost out there. We all want to you don't lose that competitive edge. So I think, that's been the thing I've seen. The big wheels come around and we're doing what we loved at the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
Without waiting for 20 knots of wind and
Well, that's the thing. I obviously wasn't competing at anything like the level you were competing, but back in my 20s, I had a fantastic group of friends sailing the Mistral Superlight, going around the UK doing that. And European events, and I actually didn't think I'd ever meet such make friends like that again. But you've managed to hang on to those friends. But I think the thing that I love about the LT is the fact it is so inclusive, and it's a great bunch of people. I mean, obviously, when we meet up with the Peroni crew, it's always great to meet you guys. But there's also fantastic people from Queensland and
Josh, Seal Bashes 1 and 2, and
and the internet and. Yeah, and internationally, there's a great group, in all of the countries when we go and race there. So it really is, quite an amazing and unique class, isn't it?
Well, before I go, I've got to mention Freddie Bagassian, one of my really good old mates, and I got to meet him again in Greece. Just 50? How long have I been doing? I'm 63, so I've been doing it since I was 16.
Yeah,
long bloody time. But to hang out with these friends again and stuff, it's really cool. Really, really cool.
Yeah, it is quite unique. So I think the event in Fiji, Scotty, that is going to be an absolute ripper. So so we'll keep everybody up to date on that on the website, saillt.com. So if you want to get regular updates, just please go on to SailLT, sign up for the newsletter, and as and when we get more news, that's not just Scotty's event. There's events all around Europe. We've got all the events now for the North American circuit are actually on the site as well. So it's actually a great source of knowledge. So if you do want to keep up to date with everything Windsurfer LT, Sail LT is your...
And Pete, I just want to say before you go, thank you for everything, mate. You've been a breath of fresh air and really pushed the sport. So really appreciate what you've done for the LT class.
Oh, well, look, it's my pleasure. I couldn't do it for a nicer group of people. So really, you say it's saved your life. I think it saved mine as well, Scotty, because when I took it up, I was, over 90 kilos. I was unfit. I was really not having a great time. But in the last 5 years, it's really turned my life around. And now it's, it really is a great group, and I'm loving the sailing. Slowly getting better. But in a like you said about the competition, talk about world-class competition. My God, it's brutal, but it is such.
Yeah. Thank God we haven't got Timmy Goulet over here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, there was some footage I've just posted actually on a few of the sites of Tim Goulet and Michael Kilduff, who's now the lightweight national.
Yeah, he's
pushing it, and then with young Lockie Putt, and they're all racing off to the finish, and seeing Tim, who is an absolute superstar, getting pushed so hard by young Lockie. So that's the new generation coming through. So it's all all
stuff happens, mate. Yeah, you got to get down off the pedestal. Okay. All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for your time, Scotty. It's an absolute pleasure as always, and catch you later.
All right. Bye, Pete. See you, mate.
See you, mate.